they're making slow but sure amends. They're 4 on the road. They are considerably under 500, but they have won 4 of their last 7 games. And Bob Murdoch feels that they're playing so much better on the road, largely because there's no pressure. As a drive by Butch Cassidy is in from the blue line. 1-0 Chicago. Goodness.
Well, that'll wake everybody up, including me and Glenn Hanlon. A blue line goal, but to make matters worse, a short side goal. Scramble, okay, you're a long way from the net. No big deal as long as you close it up quickly enough. Cassidy moves to the blue line. And there's the shot, and Glenn Hanlon had to be poorly positioned, Mike. He had to lose the net behind him. There's no way he should be beaten by a short-handed goal, short side goal from there. One more look at it. There's the shot. I won't take anything away from Cassidy. That was a good shot. Here's Detroit.
Oh, and what a save made by Pang on Ashton.
Goes along with that size. You lose the agility as you get bigger. Darren Pang doesn't have to worry about that.
Puck taken by Koser, and a shot in front by Shabbat is tipped away. There'll be a penalty coming up. Detroit will get the first chance to exercise its power play unless they score here on the delayed call. Extra man fires, he scores! It's Adam
Oates. All the way from the bench. It was Oates that came on as the 6th attacker because Hanlon had gone to the bench. Oates skates right through a seam, and nobody picks him up. See him just by the right post. Well, now he's out of frame. He won times that nobody was able to pick him up. There was a huge seam wide open in an absolute direct line from coming off the bench right to the slot. And Adam Oates just banged it one time to the long side past Darren Pang.
spins it on back to Savard. Then across to Nyland. Hammers one, and that into the pad of Hanlon. Rick Zombo nicely able to fidget away from a couple and dive it to Gallant. Then over to Probert, then to Gallant for some.
Gather round, kids, if you want to see a wrist shot. Snapshot, wrist shot, whatever you want to call it. A bit of a snapper. You can tell on that replay we couldn't even pick up the puck and follow it. Gallant uses Ben Wilson for a screen. Watch the upper right-hand part of the net. That was by Darren Pang before he had a chance to react to it. I had no idea Gerard Gallant could shoot the puck that well with the wrist, and I've seen him shoot some hard ones. What a bullet.
Savard loses. Peter Klima starts ahead. Savard trying to prevent a 3-on-1. Can't. Klima across. In front. Unable to finesse it home was Brent Ashton. Looks back toward Veach. Has Probert drifting to the side. Gives to him. Backhander is stopped by the pad of Pang. And then he shoved back into the net after the whistle. And back over to Burr. Then laid to Shabbat. Joe Koser moves in. Loses to Manson with Denis Savard. Works on Delorme, then moves over to O'Connell's side. In the slot, over for Graham. They tap it in. Larmer. And the game is tied.
Boy, the Detroit domino effect is happening, especially on this play. You know, Bob Murdoch said today, I've taken 5 away from Denis Savard, and I've put Dirk Graham with them. They've had trouble scoring, but I know they're going to click. Well, here comes Savard to Graham. To Larmer, and do they make it look easy? And look at those white sweaters just fishing, turning all over the place. That's in the yayer category, Mike. Yay.
Pang catches a hawk to the box.
Yeah, and Troy Murray's gone right over to Hanlon. You know, when Hanlon was skating to the bench, he slashed Murray, who was lying on the ice. It was Murray that's going to get the penalty. He hooked O'Connell, but when he was lying on the ice, Glenn Hanlon slashed him with one hand on the leg on the way to the box.
Gerard Gallant got things rolling with a little left as the two were discussing it, and it could be that Gallant will go as well. It was on the delayed call anyway.
Here's a look at the penalty. Watch, 19 in red, hook, 2, white, turn him around. There goes O'Connell. You can see Murray lying there. And as the play went up the ice, Glenn Hanlon skated right by Troy Murray and crunched him once with his stick. I don't think anybody saw it. Right?
Pretty good one.
Sean Burr. But this one kept by Larmer. Feeds in front to Savard. Oh, and what a save made by Hanlon.
Savard thought he had him.
Boy's getting a little mad out there, too.
Yeah.
Ben's a very tough individual. As a matter of fact, I think it'd be if a heavyweight contest, I think number 24 and Ben would get at it. It would be quite exciting.
Yeah, Probert and Ben Wilson for sure.
Mr. Howe is serving as matchmaker here in an arena named for another pretty good tussler, Joe Louis.
Yeah.
Moving in with it is DeLorme, and then to Koser, who tried to center, and here's a chance for Shabbat. Oh, get it through. Tries again. Blocked off by Pang. Bob Murray wheels it to center.
Oh, look at all the Blackhawks. 3 of them circling right back in by their net. Here comes Shabbat, goes wide. Pang with the glove.
Looked like it.
Yeah.
Looked like a glove either.
Nice conception by the Blackhawks on that play, as moving in with it is Graham. Feeds the wing. Savard in front to Graham. He scores!
Beautiful play.
They don't get much prettier than that.
Oh, that's gorgeous. There's not much chance for that goaltender either. He's got to play the man.
Sure.
It's the same as every time when you see a deflected shot. Everybody's, it's such a simple thing to do, but in all honesty, when a shot is made, the goaltender is taught to take the shot. If he touches it, tough luck.
Yep, up to the defenseman to take the pass. But you wonder about the 2-on-1. There goes Harold Snepst. You see that he was kind of caught flat-footed at the blue line, and this is what creates the 2-on-1. Veach goes back and tries to play the pass, but there's an example of, say, maybe somebody trying to do too much. You saw Darren Veach. He was not only trying to block the shot, he was trying to block the pass. You got to take your responsibility and perform. Veach's job there was to cut the pass.
And the puck outletted on to Thomas. One-on-one with Veach back. And it's Thomas crossing. His drive is into Veach. And it'll be a hand pass to stop the clock. 3:43 to go in the second. The score remains Chicago 3, Detroit 2.
Pretty tough to pick up who was leveled first on that. Although it is Steve Thomas. And I'm not sure if it's Veach. Man.
It was Veach who blocked the shot. So it may be still Veach who was out. I see Harold Snepst, the other defenseman, so by elimination we'll say Veach.
At least 2 guys were blindsided. Thomas blindsided whoever he's fighting with, and then Probert came in and took a big shot at Steve Thomas. There's Big Harold. When Big Harold gets a grip on you, as I'm sure Dan Vincelette can attest to, that's a big grip. We're handing out the penalties now. There's Veach losing his stick. That's a simple rush by Thomas. He tries to get a shot on net. Veach just does a hand pass here. Everything looks real innocent. There's Danny Vincelette going to hit Veach. He's after that.
Bob Probert, 2 for roughing.
And everything kind of got carried away.
Something practice and in between periods on you. He was very, very aggressive.
The voice of Gordie Howe with Bill Clement, Mike Emmerich this period. It is a 4-on-3 Chicago. They lead in the game 3-2. Bear in mind, when the 3-minute power play begins for Detroit, they can score at will. And there's one for Chicago. Steve Larmer has made it a 2-goal Blackhawk lead.
Well, I'm sure Gordie Howe will back up the statement that sometimes it's not how hard you shoot it, it's where. And Glenn Hanlon seemed to be handcuffed a bit on it. It went right between his legs. There's no question that Hanlon's kind of disappointed right now. It comes back to Ben Wilson, who simply threads it through that seam. There was a nice seam for him to thread it through to. He gets his own rebound. It was a nice block by O'Connell in the first one. There you can see Hanlon looking down, went right between his legs. Talked about leaving your feet, Gordie. O'Connell went down on one knee there, and that was just enough for Larmer to hit him, get it back, and get a real good shot on Hanlon.
I think Hanlon had an anticipation of a pass there,
yeah,
because he moved over, and then when he came back, he wasn't in the proper position. And maybe in the breakage of play, they're measuring a stick, talking about breakage of play.
Yeah, they sure are, which is an unusual thing. Excuse me for interrupting, but there was...
Who gets the penalty, Ben Wilson, for playing with an illegal stick. And Jacques Demers said just last week, I could call an illegal stick and be right every game. Is there, forced by Gallant, but the play driven further by Vincelette. And a quick shot by Gallant hit the post. Veach with a drive, and closing the pads was Darren Pang. Turning his Yzerman, swept from him from behind by Graham. And still the battle out to Yzerman. Quick shot. Another one goes wide. Thank you, Tom. Keeping us up to date on the other 3 games in the NHL tonight. Gallant feeds in front. They score! Yzerman.
You can only keep a good man down so long. Reminiscent of when we were in Chicago less than 2 weeks ago, and Denis Savard did his heroics late in the game. Gallant to Yzerman by Pang. And it is now 4-3. You can only hold him for so long. Flipped it out.
Bob Murray to Cassidy. Scoreboard clock shows 5.5 to go. Cassidy to Jeff Larmer. Tripped up as he was headed in, and Graham got it for a backhander. He scores! That's Denis Savard out of midair. Wonderful goal.
The only downside to it is that Steve Larmer is being helped off the ice. He got squashed along the boards, but Dirk Graham sends it out. Savard just takes a polo whack at it and finds an opening once again between Glenn Hanlon's legs. And this game should be out of reach as long as Chicago can continue to maintain. 5-3 now, 5 minutes and 23 seconds to go. As long as Chicago doesn't collapse. And the only reason I say that is that they're playing pretty conservatively and doing a pretty decent job at it right now, Mike. He has shown us all kinds of athletic skills tonight, most of which have been translated into stopping pucks. Here he gets a piece of this when it comes up off the glass. You can see he's never lost sight of it. Took a little glance. Didn't see the third baseman coming for it, so he thought, I'll go and get it. That he did.
And down to the smaller numbers, 240. Probert steps by one. Good shot and kicked out by Pang. And Veach. Those are the 6 attackers for Detroit. Probert tries to play. Centering pass, they score! Gallant from Yzerman. 5-4.
You know, if you're going to protect one area, you have to protect the area in front of the net, especially when you're nursing a 2-goal lead and the team has pulled their goalie. Yzerman to the corner. Probert goes in, digs for it. Meanwhile, Gallant is out front. And you can see that Dave Manson was just a touch late in getting back to Gerard Gallant. And with 1 minute and 29 seconds to go, heroics.
Weak toss picked up by Gallant, dumped in, and here comes Hanlon to the bench. Darren Pang flips it along. Gallant to play. Behind the net to Yzerman. Looks to the front. Centered one. It's tipped loose in front. Still they try to reach it. And Yzerman a shot blocked off by Pang. Yzerman again. Curls to the front of the net. Shot went wide. And Pang was bumped by Gallant. And the Blackhawks clear.
You know, Pang had to do it himself twice. As here comes Yzerman. Probert gets one poke at it. There's Yzerman, a save by Pang. Watch Yzerman come around the net and try and shoot back to the short side. Right here. Pang had him, I think. He didn't have much room to shoot.
Keeps it from being cleared the length and spins one in front. Loose puck picked up and centered by Yzerman. Backhanded by Gallant. Knocked down. Rebound. And getting a piece of it was Pang. 28 seconds to go. Oh, my. Yzerman goes down. Little pass is taken by Savard. Denis Savard with the net empty ahead, trying to fight loose, but this one will go well wide. First one there is Veach to tap from by. Savard has it with 10 seconds to go. Darren Veach has to hurry. That one floated along for Probert. Can't chop out. Troy Murray centers when he scores! Just a little backhand toss. And into the net it went. And that wraps it up on the night with 2 seconds to go. Troy Murray won the big face-off and then wound up putting it in the net at the other end.
Had it way in the zone, deep in the corner with that one Blackhawk in there, but he came all the way down, and there's Darren Veach trying to just get it up ice. Well, that should be unassisted. Troy Murray broke up the pass. It is unassisted.
What you do once, you can do twice. And the Blackhawks have done it in 5 of their last 8 road games. And this is not a team that's supposed to be that good on the road. But boy, your comment about Bob Murdoch, how he can just see confidence building here, and you could watch it on the bench with each shift tonight.
First thing he said when he saw me this morning after saying hello was, you know what, if we win tonight, we're only 7 points out of first place. That's exactly where they find themselves.